Hey guys, it's Dory. I just wanted to come at you now to fill you in on my surgeon's appointment. I'm driving home. I'm going to be holding my phone, which means that I may or may not be able to look down at it every once in a while. So I went for my appointment. It was my 2.5 year. My radio is going crazy. Okay, there, shut that off. So it was my 2.5 year post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery with my surgeon, which is Dr. Darren Tischler. I live in Massachusetts, and I travel every 6 months to see him or see his office. I have a physician assistant who I see every time I go, and she's wonderful. And so basically I travel to Glastonbury, Connecticut. It's about a half an hour, 40 minutes maybe with traffic, not bad at all. And so I wanted to let you guys know some of the things that we talked about that I think are very useful, and some of the things that we talked about that I wanted to get to you guys before I forget. So basically I weighed in today. Of course, you know how the doctor's scale is always a little bit up what yours is. I was 177 this morning, and I was 179 there. Not that big a deal. It was a pound less than what I was when I saw them 6 months ago. I was 180, and at that point she told me if I hadn't lost another pound, I would still be a success story, because I've lost more than the 75 or 70% of your excess weight that the sleeve surgery promises. I think I lost like maybe 85%, 90%. It's pretty good. So she said the same thing, of course. I'm a little bit less. She said if I wanted to get down to 160, which is my goal, that's fine. That would just be icing on the cake. She definitely said that what's most important than the weight getting any lower is just that I will continue with making sure that I know mindful eating, and that I'm getting the things in that I need to get in my body, that I'm taking my vitamins and all that. She said my 3/4 of a cup of measuring each time I eat is fantastic. The meal prepping is also fantastic. One thing that I was shocked, and I was kind of nervous about telling her that I am intermittent fasting, I was shocked to see her tell me that that's one of the biggest up-and-coming things with bariatric surgeons and their patients, is that they are actually pointing them in the direction of intermittent fasting. And of course she said, it's not to be understood that your eating window is to be constantly eating or going to McDonald's or anything like that. So I told her kind of what I do. I fast for about 18 hours. I have a 6-hour window. In that time, I only have 2 meals, maybe 1 snack. I told her that if I feel like I am less on my protein than I want to be, I'll grab a Premier Protein shake. She said that was fine. That was great. She was very excited to hear that I have logged into MyFitnessPal for 1,001 days today. I also talked to her about how much coffee I drink, which I only have a cup a day, and maybe only 4 times a week. Unless, of course, one thing I do, and I told her I don't know why it works, but for some reason, when I have to go to the bathroom and I'm unable to, even when the Colace and the Miralax is not working, for some reason a Dunkin' Donuts caramel swirl iced coffee with 2 cream, that does it. She said it could be the sugar content. Obviously I only have this like maybe once every couple weeks, only when I really need to go to the bathroom, like when I'm desperate is when I'll have it. All in all, the appointment was great. I have an appointment in September, and she's going to pull the blood work. So I got my lab slip that I'll hold with me until August, and then or maybe the end of August or the first week of September, because my appointment with her is September 23rd. So I would say probably I would do it the first week of September. And then she went over my last blood work 6 months ago, because it didn't come through their system until I was already gone. And so the only thing that she said was my B12 was actually off the charts. So I tend to take extra B12 because it's a good mood enhancer and things. And then also I'm eating really well, and I have good sources of vitamin B in my diet. And so she said it was, off the chart. They couldn't measure it. It was over 2,000. And so she said it's not a huge issue, except now instead of taking the supplements daily, I should take them every other day, which is fine. That's nothing, nothing too serious that I can't make a change for. And then she said, I told her that I've been using her, kind of what she told me she does for herself, which is instead of looking at the scale and looking at the number, just really seeing how your clothes are fitting. So I've been using that a lot, actually. Anytime I feel like I may have gained some weight or I'm losing weight, I always see how my pants fit, especially my leggings. Like the pair of leggings I'm wearing today, they're just like a brand I got from Costco. They're not Kirkland, but they're another type. But they're black and they're really, really super comfortable. And they were only $16.99 for 2 pair. And so even these, they're not as tight as they used to be. So I know I'm kind of, I'm going back down to where I'm more comfortable. So I was 177 at home today. And I'd like to be, lose a good 10 pounds and get down to 167. Those are uncharted territory for me, because I have not been under 169.6, which is my lowest weight ever as an adult. And so I'd like to see kind of how I feel at 167. So that's kind of my immediate goal, is to lose this last 10 pounds. Obviously getting under, I take little baby steps. Under the 175 mark is what I'm going for, and then under 172, because that's the last time that I really clocked in recently. And then, under 170 into the 160s is fantastic. So that's kind of my little goals that I've planned for myself. I definitely feel like one area I'm going to work on, which I tend to go back and forth with, and it's only because I forget. It's not that I'm trying to avoid it, but the eating slow. I'm going to definitely continue doing my 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup portions. And then I'm going to eat slow. I'm just going to be very mindful. I have been doing well with not drinking during the time I'm eating, and not drinking for 30 minutes after I'm done eating. And I think that definitely has helped out tremendously. But I'm going to go back to the mindful eating and slow eating. We also talked about, there is a support group, and if you guys have a support group within your community for bariatrics or through your surgeon's office, I would implore you to go. I'm so excited to go to mine. So the next one is in April, and I believe it's April 6th. It's a Tuesday night, but it's actually going to be a woman who wrote a book. I forgot her name off the top of my head, but she wrote a book on bariatric surgery and to keep moving forward with it. And even though you've gotten to be 2.5 years post-op, or 1 year post-op, or 5 years, just to keep moving forward and never looking back, and kind of just continuing the momentum. So I'm going to go to that one. And then the following month, which is May, I'm actually speaking at that one. They called me a couple months ago and asked me if I would be willing to share my story and share my habits and my life and this journey with everybody. And at that one, it's actually going to be entitled Ask the Doctors. And that one has about 100 people who usually register for that. And that is May, I forgot the date, maybe May 18th or something. It's on a Wednesday. And so basically that is going to be really exciting, a great opportunity. I'm excited. I'm not nervous at all. I just have to put together a PowerPoint presentation, which I have no idea what I'm doing. So the woman at my surgical office told me just to send her pictures and like my speech, quote unquote. Of course they have questions because I've been to these support groups while I was pre-op. They have us go to 3 of them, I believe, maybe 6 of them, but I think 3. And I have not been back since I had surgery. So I've always wanted to, but of course, because it's in Hartford, it's about 30 minutes away from me or so. And also just having the kids and then my husband leaving and, you know, for the military assignments and such, I just haven't had the opportunity. So I'm going to definitely start doing that because she gave me the list of what the topics are, and they have some really good topics. Exercising, like bariatric style, which isn't too different than other things, but I think they're probably just going to touch on some different exercises that you can do maybe for loose skin. They also have topics that author is coming, the next one to do, and then they're going to have another one, Ask the Doctor, in October. And I'd like to bring some of my friends with me who definitely have been thinking about bariatric surgery but are afraid or maybe have questions of their own. Some people, they desperately need it. They are very unhealthy and on the brink of dying from their weight issues, and so I'm hoping that they're going to come with me. I know my husband will come with me because obviously he's such a great supporter of mine, and so I'll have him take pictures and video and I'll share it with you guys. And so anyhow, yeah, that was really all she said. She said I'm doing fantastic. I will include a photo of us in the end of this video, and some pictures that I just took of myself in the mirror there because, you know, hey, a mirror, right? Which is funny because I never would have done that before. I would have never wanted to take my picture, never mind a full-length picture. But I like my outfit today. It makes me look thin. And so anyhow, so yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, that's it. Just mindful eating, making sure that, oh, she did mention, you know, with the intermittent fasting and everything, she also mentioned another thing, which is something I always say, there is no food off limits. Nothing. There is nothing. You could either make it better and like bariatric friendly, anything. I mean, it could be Chinese food and you could make that bariatric friendly. Or you can allow yourself to have a small, whatever it is. Like she used a cookie as an example. She said, you know, like if you see a cookie and you really want that cookie and you're at your job or whatever, and you know, people brought in these delicious homemade whatever cookies, and you say to yourself, I'm choosing that cookie. I'm choosing to have that cookie right now, and it's going to be okay. And you go ahead and you have that cookie. Have the cookie, move forward, and that's it. She said the only thing is if you have that one cookie, and that one cookie is a slider type food, and it makes you go back for a second cookie and a third cookie and a fourth cookie. Or if you have a small piece of cake and you have a tiny sliver, just because you say, I'm choosing this tiny sliver of cake, and you're choosing to have that, but don't go back every day and have a sliver of a piece of cake. That actually is counterproductive to where you've come from. And so at this point, 2.5 years post-op, she just wanted to make sure that I was still on the same track, that this now has just become my lifestyle. This isn't just, you know, I had surgery, I need to obey the doctor's orders, slash, I know I can't have this, so let's put it off limits, slash, and fill in the blank. She wanted to make sure that this was my lifestyle now, that I felt that what I do on a daily basis with exercise and walking and lifting weights or whatever, and the eating portion of that, that I know that that is going to be my lifestyle, that I have been living it, and that I'm okay with it, and that I'm not feeling like I'm missing out, and that I'm not feeling like I need to change everything. I told her I don't even remember my old life. I don't even remember when I was 350 pounds or when I was 300 pounds. I don't even remember, you know, laying on the couch most of the day because I was too tired. I don't really remember that. And so that showed her that that was really because I have made this a lifestyle change. So with that being said, that are the tidbits, those are the tidbits that I have taken away from this post-op appointment. And that intermittent fasting was great. You know, it's funny because I did get nervous telling her because I thought she was going to say, oh, that's not good for you. But as I'm telling her how I'm eating, she said, oh, you know, there's something new that they're actually wanting the patients to be doing. And she's trying to think of it. And she's like, it's fasting. I said, intermittent fasting? And she said, yes. I said, oh, yeah, that's what I do. And so I told her I do an 18-6 window. And so she was excited about that, and she thought that that was amazing. And she's actually going to apply that to her own life. She's not a bariatric surgeon, but she gained probably 10 pounds. And she's very thin, but like, you know, she knows that she gained the weight, and she knows what a healthy weight is for her and what makes her feel good in her body. And so she's going to do that for her own sake. So yeah, so I think that's it. I'm going to put some pictures at the end of this video, and you can see my physician's assistant. Her name is Kat, short for Catherine, and she's amazing. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for joining me in my car ride home with the bright sunshine. We are so excited that there is sun. And I have like 2 hours before I have to go get my daughter from school. So I'm probably going to just go home and clean and get the house ready for when they come home today. And that's it. So you guys have a good day. Talk to you soon.